You are looking live down on the hangar, the gymnasium of Ayersville High School, just off of Ayersville Road, as we've got a big GMC matchup tonight. One of these two teams is going to snap a long losing streak as the Pilots enter this evening's contest at 4-10 overall, but 0-3 in the Green Meadows Conference, while the Hicksville Aces at 6-8 overall, 2-2 in the GMC, trying to snap a 5-game skid. The Pilots haven't won in 4 games. Somebody is going to break that here in the next 32 minutes. Welcome aboard, everybody. The Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show is underway on DCTV Sports. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller. Scoop, it's the grind. We're now deep into January. There's still roughly a month left to go in the season, but one of these two teams is going to get some wind in their sails at the end of this evening.
Well, you're right, and I look for both teams to come out with plenty of energy. The fact that you mentioned those losing streaks, they're hungry for a W, and I think both teams, even though they've had some struggles, have to feel confident they can get over that hump tonight.
At this point, is there anything that you can put on paper as far as X's and O's, adding a new wrinkle, changing things up, or is it really just about the neck up? It's about attitude, and who has, if I want to say, the nastiest one tonight should have the advantage?
Well, I think at this juncture, it's more mindset than anything. You know, everybody's gone through the grind here. Everybody's been bumped and bruised throughout. Everybody's dealing with injuries. But here's where you have to be mentally tough. You know, you're going to be tested here. You have to play through adversity. Both these teams have seen plenty of it this season. But again, you have a chance to maybe get some momentum going before the postseason tournament just around the corner.
I had a chance to stop out at an Ayersville practice this week and talk with head coach Logan Wolfram. Dylan Dunn is going to be our player profile. Don't you go anywhere. More of the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show when we return on DCTV Sports. They just started the clock.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
Welcome back. The Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues. As you can tell by our background, we are on the road. It's really not that far up Ayersville Road at the appropriately named facility, Ayersville High Schools. We've got boys basketball on DCTV Sports tonight. Brent Balbinot saying thank you for joining us. Before we get into Coach Wolfram's analysis, we need to thank our sponsor, Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, located on North Clinton Street in downtown Defiance. If you haven't maybe got a thick enough coat to brave the minus 24-degree wind chills this week and don't feel like stopping out to check out their great selection of new and used vehicles on their lot, you can always do so online at drivebobestill.com. We know you do that on a daily basis, don't you?
Yep.
This man's got a different car for every day of the week, and all from Estill Chevrolet Cadillac. I think it's an Escalade tonight, isn't it?
Yep.
Seems to fit in pretty well. Coach, in all seriousness, look, this is the time of the year where it's a grind. Quite often you're playing on back-to-back nights, but to play 3 games in 4 days is unique. You played Friday, Saturday, and Monday of last week. Look, this is an obvious question. I know the guys are young, they've got energy, lots of oil in their joints, but that kind of schedule does take a toll. How did you handle it? How did they respond?
Yeah, I mean, if you looked at the beginning of the season, looking at our schedule, this was always going to be an extremely, extremely tough weekend. Paulding, Miller City, Kalida, back-to-back to Sunday to bat.
And it wasn't like you had 3 cream puffs either.
Nope. 3 really good, solid teams. So going into it, we knew it was going to be a tough weekend. Coming out of it, we came out 0-3, but I truly think, in talking with our guys, we got better each game. We really battled, had a chance to win. Basically all 3 games in the fourth quarter, we were in it. So I tell our guys, it sucks to lose, and we don't like to lose, but we took some really good positives out of that, and hopefully that's bolting us into the second half of the season here to finish off the season.
We talked a little bit before we hit the air here. Jeremiah Peak is your outlet. He's your number 1 option. he draws a ton of attention defensively, whether it's multiple defenders, whether it's being face guarded, no matter where he's on the court. That also means opportunities for other players. You don't just want, you need somebody to step up and also want the ball consistently. Who are you challenging to be that guy?
Yeah, I mean, I think a couple guys on our team were challenging. Dane Ewers, again, he's a freshman. But we feel that we can challenge him with that role. He's averaging 14 for us right now. Like you said, consistency. He's had games where he's had 26. He's had games where he's had 4. But in those games where he's had 4, he's helping the team in different ways. Dylan Dunn's another guy that can fill it up for us. He's had 18 a couple times this year. So he's a guy who needs to become more consistent. And then Owen Lloyd, Jackson Stanball, they're starting to hit shots a little bit more consistently. So we're getting there. It's just taking a little bit of time, but I really like where we're at right now.
Look, there's the old phrase, it doesn't matter whether your offense is on or not, defense travels. You can always play at that end of the court. And again, looking down at your stats on average, you're allowing just over 51 points per game. You said that's serviceable. You'd probably like it to be a little bit lower, but all in all, it's good. The problem is, offensively, like you said, the consistency hasn't been there. You're averaging just a shade under 45. So let me ask you, where's that line of demarcation? If you could find consistently this number of points, you feel good about your chances to walk out of the gym with a win.
Yep, I would say anything in the 50s. Like you said, we're giving up 51. I would like to be around 55 averaging per game. If we can get into the 50s, we're going to be in every game in the fourth quarter. So as long as we can be in the game in the fourth quarter, anything can happen. So if we can obviously get that 44 to shift to low to mid 50s, we'll have a chance in every game we play.
Let's go ahead and break down tonight's opponent, Hicksville. Again, a little bit of a roller coaster ride as I was looking at some of their stuff. Player-wise, they've got 3 or 4 guys that are up around double digits, but their point guard in particular really seems to be coming into his own.
Yeah. Coach Welch over there does a great job. He's been over there about 3 years with the program. They've gotten better each year. So I really like what he's doing. I think he's a great coach. The Rosales kid's their point guard. He was out last year with, I believe, a knee injury. He's come back senior year really strong. Been playing very, very well, so we're going to definitely have to find him early. And then they have 3 to 4 other guys that can fill it up, get you 8 to 12 points. So they have a solid squad, and it's going to be a tough Defiance County matchup.
What's the key to disrupting their offense?
I would say get in them, pressure them a little bit. They're not the biggest team. As you can see, we're not the biggest team either. But we've been playing a little bit more zone lately and been having some success into that. So we'll mix it up probably quite a bit tonight, but make them uncomfortable. That's going to be the biggest key.
When you talk about getting into them, are you talking about on-ball defense?
Yep.
What's the key to being solid in that regard?
That's the thing. We talk to our guys all the time. If we can just have a body in front of the dribbler, good things are going to happen. It's high school basketball. There's not too many kids that can consistently fill it up by shooting over somebody. There are some, but consistently it's really tough for high school basketball players to do. So if we can just have a body in front of a body all night, good things should happen.
Look, I know it's been tough, especially this last 3 games, but at the same time, it's not like this team doesn't seem like it's that far away. Right. You seem like you're on the precipice. What will mark the difference in the last month of this season?
Yeah, obviously winning helps. And I think we have some games in front of us where we can go get some wins. These guys have been resilient all year. It's been such a fun group to coach. We're 4-10 right now, so the record's not great, but they come here every day to work. And like I said, we went 0-3 the past weekend, but I truly think we got better. That's a testament to the guys buying in and willing to come to work every day. So we're excited to take these last 8 games head on, see what we can do, and push into tournament time.
All right, Coach, as always, we appreciate it. Good luck, not just the rest of the way, but also tonight.
Yep, appreciate it. Thank you.
Coach Wolfram joining us on our Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show. Our player profile, Dylan Dunn. Coach talked about it. He lit it up for 18 a couple weeks ago on this very court against Fairview. We'll see what he's got in store for us tonight. But first, we're going to put a microphone in his hand. Don't you go anywhere. We're back with more of the pregame right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports. Welcome back. The Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues. We're at Ayersville tonight as the boys take center stage as they welcome Hicksville, big GMC matchup. Brent Palbinot saying thank you for joining us. Big thank you also going out to our sponsor, Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac, located on North Clinton Street in Defiance. I always ask this question now because you're being sponsored.
Yeah.
But if they were going to go ahead and give Dylan Dunn the ride of his life, just drive it off the lot, cruising down North Main in Defiance, what's your ride going to be?
Probably a Camaro.
A Camaro, okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't complain either.
You wouldn't complain with a Cadillac, though, either, probably, would you?
I wouldn't care.
Styling. I'm trying to think what the Cadillac convertible is. It used to be, well, I'm not sure anymore. I'll have to double check on their models. You drop another 18 and maybe we'll make that happen in the summer. How's that sound?
All right. I mean,
The gentleman's smile standing next to me right now is our player profile, Dylan Dunn, 5'11 junior. And as you were telling me, you're a basketball junkie. No other sports. You're just a gym rat.
yeah.
How long you been playing basketball?
All my life, actually. Ever since first grade on the playground, and yeah, just my whole life.
So his whole life, leading him up to his junior season here. Let's go ahead and talk about last year into this year. Last year was the senior-laden team. Now that you are an upperclassman, you're seeing a lot more time on the court. What were some of the things in the off-season you were working on to become a better basketball player?
Honestly, it was a lot of shooting and ball handling, but a lot of conditioning and just working my butt off.
What did the coaches tell you they wanted your role to be coming into this year?
I know that they wanted me to be a spot-up shooter and a good driver to find Jeremiah and Dane.
Now, those are the skill sets. How about just being a vocal player, being a leader? Did they talk to you about that at all?
Yeah, I mean, being one of we don't really have many seniors this year, so it's really put on a lot of us juniors to really take the role and put it on our shoulders. But I think that we all do really good with it.
Team record right now, 4-10. It could easily be 10-4. You guys have had some very tight games.
Yeah.
It's just been, and as coaches told me, it's been usually that one stretch. Doesn't matter what quarter it is, where things just kind of go sideways, so to speak, for maybe 90 seconds, 2 minutes. Doesn't seem like a long amount of time in a 32-minute game, but it can make the difference. How do you get over that hump?
Yeah, I mean, we've been trying different stuff in practice. The front of the season was the first quarter, and the last couple of games we had that solved out, but now it's turning into the third quarter. We just got to put it all together and make it one full game.
How close is this team to really reaching its potential?
Really good. I mean, we have a lot of youth out here. We only have 2 seniors, but I'm really excited for this program.
Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the academic side of things. The term is student athlete. You got to stay eligible to stay in that uniform. What's the GPA for you?
I like to say 3.7. I'm pretty sure it's a 3.7.
He's pretty sure it's a 3.7. We're going to trust him. We're going to believe him until he gives us a reason not to. What's your favorite subject?
Math. A lot of people say that I'm weird for that, but I like numbers.
When you say math, I'm thinking algebra, geometry, trig. You have a particular favorite?
I'm in algebra 2 right now, but I just like it. It's pretty easy.
For me, it was not. Trust me. And when I was in high school, you had to take a minimum of 3 years. I took 2 years of algebra, a year of geometry. Trig was possible. There was some pre-calc. How high do you want to take your math skills?
I'm not really sure. I got to ask the counselor about that. But, yeah, I've just been big on math because of my dad. My dad is really good at math. But, yeah.
So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about where this team is right now. You guys openly talk about your goals. What's still left? You still have a month left to go in this season.
Yeah, I mean, our record isn't really the best right now, 4-10. But
it's not how you start, it's how you finish, right?
Yeah, and really, we're going to be a team that no one wants to play come in tournament time. And I really think that we can try and win out with our record right now.
Let's go ahead and talk about Hicksville coming in tonight. You're on your home court. The hangar is just a sweet little gym. It seats about, 1,000 to maybe 1,500.
Yeah.
When this place is full, there's no other place like it in this part of the state. You're nodding yes to that. Can you just talk about what the fan support means?
It means a lot, especially whenever the community comes out and shows their love to us and shows that they believe in us. It really gets us pumping, especially when all the seats are full and not just like areas. It can get really loud sometimes, and I love it.
I talk to athletes, it doesn't matter if it's the high school level, the college level, even the pro level. When you get that kind of an environment, when you get a full arena late in a game, when maybe your legs or your knees start to get wobbly, your arms are heavy, you're sucking for your next breath, all of a sudden, I've had guys literally tell me, you just can't get tired. How much do you guys feed off the energy of your crowd?
Honestly, quite a lot. I feel like the student section really gets us going whenever it's pretty big. Our bench really plays in a big role of that. We have a lot of freshmen sitting on our bench, and they really get us going, especially during timeouts. They like to give us high fives and just really compliment us and feed off us.
Still another month left to go in the regular season, but I'm sure you're going to tell me the most important game on the schedule is the next one up, correct?
Yeah.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Again, Dylan Dunn, our player profile. Don't you go anywhere. We're back with our keys to the game and our starting lineups. You're watching the Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show on DCTV Sports. Back at the hangar, cold, wintry night, but the late crowd starting to file in. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller as the Ayersville Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show is coming to a close. The colors have been unfurled at the east end of the gymnasium. That means it's time for the national anthem, and it's courtesy of the Defiance County Veterans Office. Proud to support local veterans and their families. If you'd like to learn about or request more information about what you might be eligible for, log on to defiance-county.com/veterans-office or give them a call at 419-782-6861. And now the Star Spangled Banner, courtesy of the Ayersville Pep Band. And the national anthem in the books, courtesy of the Ayersville Pep Band. And our thanks going out to our sponsor, the Defiance County Veterans Office. Time now for the keys to the game, brought to you by Northwest State Community College. Your key to great career opportunities begins with a great education at Northwest State. Visit northweststate.edu or call 419-267-1320 today. Let's start with the host, Ayersville Pilots. Again, trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. Scoop, what do the Pilots need to do to walk out here with a win?
Well, it's going to start with being boss with the basketball. They have to cut down turnovers, try to minimize those, and really play strong with the basketball as they know they're going to be tested from this Peisty defense from the Aces. I think the second key will be who wants to help. They've got proven scorers in Peak and Ewers. They need those secondary guys to step up and take some of the pressure off of those two. If they can get done in these areas, they can end a 4-game losing skid here tonight.
An even longer one on the other bench for Hicksville. Keys for an Aces win.
Well, I think for the Aces, it's going to start with rebounding. They have to establish the glass, win the battle of the boards, and win that second chance points battle. It's going to be a tough task against this Pilot team. I think the second thing, they have to really be efficient in the half court. They can't be one-dimensional. They have to come down and attack the rim, go inside out, but not just settle for the three. And if they can get it done in these areas, they can snap a 5-game losing skid tonight here at the Hangar.
Those are your keys to the game, brought to you by Northwest Community College. Check them out online at northweststate.edu or give them a call at 419-267-1320 today. Time now for your starting lineups, brought to you by Baker Schindler Company. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, baker-schindler.com. Lights coming down. The hype intro about to be played. Let's give you the starters first for the Aces. Dylan Welch, the head man, his club 6 and 8 overall, 2-2 in the GMC. We'll talk about it over the course of the game, but their leading scorer is out. And unfortunately for the season, Garrett Turnbull, the 6-foot junior, just one too many concussions. He'll be watching from the bench. I had a chance to chat with him. He is in good spirits, but it's going to eat at him. At the point, who steps up? Jaden Rosales. Rosales stands in at 5'8". He is a senior. Again, he comes into tonight averaging 9 points, 3 rebounds, and 1.5 assists per ball game. At the off guard, Bronson Graber. Graber standing in at 5'10" and a senior. Graber's line, 2 points, 3 boards, and 1 assist per contest. At the swing, Brant Langham. Langham, a 5'11" senior. Langham averaging 4 points and 2 boards per contest. At the power forward, Luke Eicher. Eicher standing in at 6'1" and a junior. Eicher's numbers on the season. Again, everybody's going to have to step up. He's averaging 6 points, 3 boards per game. And then Jesus Avalos in the middle. Avalos stands in at 6'1" and a junior. Avalos is averaging 4 points per ball game. As the tip is taken care of, we'll get you Ayersville starters. Owen Lloyd at the point. Lloyd, again a junior. This is a junior-laden team for head coach Logan Wolfram and company. But again, not a lot of scoring. He's more of a distributor. Dylan Dunn, who had 18 on this court about 2 weeks ago against Fairview. They're hoping that he finds at least half of that, the 5'11" junior guard. At the swing, the leading scorer at 6'1", the sophomore Jeremiah Peak. Peak coming into this evening's contest, averaging double digits. He's going to need to pick it up at 16.2 points and 4 boards per contest. Jackson Stambaugh will be your forward. And then in the middle, we weren't sure if he was going to play. He's been under the weather. He was told to take a nap in Mrs. Wolfram's room across the hallway. But Dane Ewers is going to get the starting nod here this evening in the middle. Ewers, the 6'2" freshman. Again, he's been a roller coaster ride this season, Scoop. He'll score 14 one game and maybe 4 the next. It goes back to that consistency that you were talking about during the keys.
Well, you're right. He certainly has a high upside as a freshman, and we've seen him do a lot of good things, but trying to find that even keel there, being consistent, will be important. Here's going to be a turnover against the Aces as they get called for the travel, so both teams' defenses come out, force early turnovers. Now full court pressure coming up here by the Aces.
Not quite 2 minutes into this ball game. And again, Ayersville doesn't want a track meet. They want to run when they've got the opportunity. But if it's not there, just what you see right here, attack off the dribble, but move without the basketball. Deep into the paint, Dunn got a good look. I don't think he needed the pump fake there. But Johnny on the spot, Peak picks up the loose ball, and now they'll reset. Nice crossover move. Peak on the drive, and it looks like Avalos is going to pick up the foul.
Great penetration that time by Jeremiah Peak. That's going to be a key matchup here. You have Peak going head-to-head there against Jesus Avalos. And that's one of those battles that's going to be interesting. You have to win that one-on-one perimeter battle. If you're Avalos there, keep him out of the lane. And now Jeremiah Peak, a 80% free throw shooter, heads to the stripe. And he puts the Pilots on the board and gives them the early lead.
The foul will go against Eicher, who rotated over a little late to try and help on defense. His first, team foul number 1. Peak again at the stripe. Second is on the way, rattles it home. Back, and are we looking at a 3-2 here? Defensively for Ayersville.
You got 3-2 with Peak on the top. Meanwhile, Hicksville's been very aggressive in their man-to-man pressure.
A nice dribble penetration there by Langham, but an ill-advised pass stolen away by Peak, and he goes coast to coast for the first basket from the floor for either team.
Well, you have to love it. You got points from your defense right away, and you get some early separation. 2 quick aces turnovers.
Unchecked, 3 ball. Was it a 3? Yes, it was. On the way and smacking his hands together, Bronson Graber with the first points of the evening for the Aces. Sagging man-to-man right now by Hicksville. Ewers and Peak, a little 2-man game on the left wing. Oh, that's a nice slip. They'll kick it back out up top. Dunn. Boy, he got a good look. You tell him to keep shooting that shot, don't you?
That's a good look for Dunn, and credit Stanball that time. Good job going inside out, spotting Dunn all alone behind the arc.
In between the circles, Langham will surrender the ball. On the drive, splitting a double team, but Eicher couldn't quite handle the contact. Ewers with the rebound. It's 1-on-4. The freshman doesn't care, and now wisely slows it down. Oh, great look down low. Great pump fake by Lloyd. Give him 2 off the square.
Credit Dylan Dunn that time for spotting Lloyd all alone there on that backside. And 2 more points in the paint here for the Pilots, who take an early 6-3 advantage.
So far, Hicksville's only points coming from a 3-ball off the fingertips of Bronson Graber. Avalos into the paint. Nice dish back out. Open look. Ball being tapped around, and Eicher taps it to himself. Open 3 and missing everything. Graber from the corner, and here's where Ewers will slow it down. It'll be interesting to see how much he can give in spurts, or if he's recovered enough that he can stay for longer than just a few minutes. As he drives, tries kind of a behind-the-back shot, nothing doing, and a rare fast break opportunity for Rosales. Wow.
Tremendous move that time by Rosales. You saw him kind of put the burners on. He went right around the Pilots there and is able to go coast to coast. It cuts that deficit now down to 1.
Coming up on 3.5 left to go in the first quarter. Ball deflected by Langham. He stops as he's cut off and didn't turn to see who was behind him. It was a white jersey. And here comes Ewers again as he picks up his dribble, top of the key. Pilots will set up their pattern offense. Help side, they're going to double team. Dunn, nice drive down the left side of the lane, got a good look. Ooh, he gets undercut, hits the deck. And he's wondering what he's got to do to buy a basket. Still a 3-2 zone by the Pilots. Peak, the tallest player for Ayersville. In the middle of it, we've got a foul away from the ball. And charge this one. I'm seeing 5 fingers being flashed up. Was there a number 5 on the floor? Owen Stuckey was trying to check.
I think that's going to go.
Okay, it's going to go against Jesus Avalos. His first, team foul number 2. As we've got a couple of substitutions now for Hicksville. Austin Sanders will check in. Austin, amongst many of his teammates, was a huge help as I was trying to get name pronunciations and bounce a few questions off the guys. And also number 5, Owen Stuckey, checking in. Peak for 3, left wing. It teases, but bounces out, and here comes Rosales. Nobody's picked up the ball. Oh, great fake. Driving in the middle of the paint, and he gets the teardrop to fall.
How about Rosales there? A quick hesitation move and that quick pull-up. He now has 4 points.
And the first lead of the game for the Aces. I'm looking at Jaden Rosales, and again, officially on the roster, he's only listed at 5'8", but he's got a second gear, and he's also got a nifty touch as he gets into the paint.
Yeah, I've seen Hicksville in person a couple of times this season. He's got that other gear he can go to. He also sees the floor very well.
Nice pump fake, nice drive, too hard off the glass by Dunn. And there I think Scoopy anticipated contact that never came. Avalos driving hard down the middle of the paint, and it gets the friendly roll.
A great job by the junior, Jesus Avalos. This is what Hicksville needs to do. They need to play downhill. They need to attack the rim. And they've gotten plenty of paints down low in this first quarter.
All of a sudden, a 9-6 lead, and Peak ties the game up from beyond the arc, top of the key.
Yeah, you're going to have to get a hand up on him because he has the ability to shoot that J from downtown, as we saw right there.
And that is a Premier Bank three-pointer. YourPremierBank.com ties us up at 9 apiece. Nice drive again by Rosales, but this time left a little short. Ewers with the board. Stutter steps down the right side of the lane. He's going to force one up and gets the touch off the square.
Now, he's not playing like a freshman right now. I love the hesitation move. He did not shy away from the contact. Great hang time. Good-looking bank shot off the window there. And Ayersville retakes the lead.
Under a minute left to go first quarter. Good pace, good tempo. Both teams seemingly finding a rhythm. Avalos low blocks. Back out to Stuckey near wing. Three ball goes off the base of the iron, and it will be Pilots basketball.
A great help defense that time by the Pilots. I like how they doubled down. They forced them to go inside out, but then they finished the possession by getting in position, checking out. And now the Pilots will have a chance to make this a two-possession game here as they bring it up with under 1 minute to go here in this opening quarter.
Peak across half court. Dunn gets it right back to him. He'll step back near corner. Hicksville wanted to travel. Oh, what a spin move by Ewers. Finishes as he switches from the left to the right hand. Give him the finger roll.
A pretty move by the freshman who now has 4 points.
And it looks like the Aces want to take the air out of the ball. Work for the final shot of the quarter. 12 seconds left to go. Stuckey at the top of the key. Langham. 6 seconds. They got to start moving. He's picked up his dribble. 2 seconds. They'll throw up a prayer, and it's not answered. So both teams starting hot early, trading runs. And as we finish the first 8 minutes of play, the hosts with a 13-9 lead. We'll take a Mark Moats Ford timeout. Serving the community since 1916, Mark Moats Ford on County Road 424 in Defiance. Visit them online at markmoatsford.com. Second quarter, when we come back to the hangar right after this, you're watching DCTV Sports.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
Back at the hangar, second quarter action underway. Host Ayersville 13, visiting Hicksville 9. Second 8 minutes started with a foul out at half court on Pilots standout Jeremiah Peak. It's his first. Team foul number 1. And we have number 30 in the ball game for Hicksville. I believe, are we going to the JV rosters? Would that be Easton Adams? On the drive, trying a cross-court pass, deflected by Stambaugh. Here comes Peak. He is stripped from behind. What hustle! Ball goes out of bounds, but saved. And now a foul on the near side by Brent Langham. Checking back into the ball game, Rosales for the Aces. Stuckey will check out. Dunn in the backcourt. Low-scoring game, but still just enough offense to keep things interesting as Ewers dribbles into the paint. He draws a little hand check. And this one will be charged to Luke Eicher. That'll be his second. As Avalos is about to check back in for Hicksville. Eicher will grab a seat on the bench. Now, the guys were busting Eicher's chops when I was down talking to them, but they said Eicher is the best dancer on the team. So I don't know if that's true or not, but Luke, if it is, we didn't want to short you. Stolen away. Nice drive, but Dunn stripped. And Rosales, with the ball in the open court, quickly crosses the timeline. Sanders, they'll reverse it. Well, the only 30 on our roster right now is Easton Adams. So I'm going to go ahead and assume Easton Adams is the player with number 30 on the floor right now for Hicksville. And he'll quickly surrender it to the far corner. Long three, good look by Rosales, but nothing doing. Johnny on the spot, Adams with the board, and the 6'1 freshman will draw the foul and head to the free throw line.
A great hustle play by the freshman at that time, moving without the basketball. Find himself in the right place at the right time. He's able to get the offensive rebound, draws the contact.
Really charging that one, too. They haven't put a player up on the board yet. First free throw is up, not a lot of arch, and it rims in and out. And all I can tell you is we have 0 stats for Easton Adams, so that must be his first at least varsity attempt of the season.
I remember with Turnbull out of the lineup, they've also had a couple other injuries. That's kind of opened the door, but certainly he's a guy with a high upside. Here's a good-looking pass up ahead from Peak.
Dunn kicks it out. Peak, left to right, step in on a three. That is sweet. What a good-looking J, and that is another Premier Bank three-pointer.
Well, credit Peak. He made that long outlet pass there, dropped a dime, but they quickly converged inside. They go inside out, and Peak with his second Premier Bank three of the night.
Rosales on the drive is stripped, but that's just great anticipation by Brent Langham as he gets the steal and the easy teardrop.
Well, what a play by Langham. He's an exceptional athlete, and that time he's able to get 2 points from his defense.
Ewers on the drive. It tantalizes but won't fall off the rim. Nice job, though. They'll kick it out. Dunn for three. A little long. Ewers couldn't quite track it down, but he taps it to himself. And they'll get a third opportunity.
Well, how about the hustle play by Jackson Stambaugh and Dane Ewers that time to give the Pilots some extra possessions. We'll see if they can cash in.
Ayersville slowing it down now and getting into their half court. Nice give and go and a beautiful floating one-hander by Stambaugh.
Great job there by Ewers to spot Stambaugh on the rim run. And Hicksville wants to talk it over.
Dylan Welch wants a 30-second timeout, so we will keep it here. 4 of the 5 Ayersville starters are in the scoring column. Likewise, 4 of 5 Hicksville starters have provided offense. As I was looking, Keithan Miles, the 6'2 senior, was checking in at the scorer's table. So maybe either A, Dane Ewers feels a lot better after a 2-hour nap, or maybe he just plays when he's better sick. But either way, he has scored 4 points to go along with Peak being the 2 leading scorers. Peak has drained 2 threes, 2 free throws, and 1 from inside the arc.
Well, I tell you what, those 2 you mentioned, Peak and Ewers, have been outstanding here tonight. Ewers especially, he sees the floor really well for a youngster. He's got good handles on himself. He's very unselfish, but he's also that guy that can look to score and create. Boy, he's a tough guard out there.
Adams in the far corner surrenders the basketball. Good ball reversal. Ayersville really packing that 3-2 zone down once the ball drops below the free throw line.
Well, they've really kind of switched to a 1-3-1 here in the second quarter. They've disguised it really well. And there's going to be a steal by Stambaugh. Hicksville now with 4 turnovers here in this opening half.
Peak slowing it down, getting the set call that he wants from Coach Wolfram. They'll spread the floor and get it balanced. Peak pops out. He'll back it out. Puts it on the floor. 360 spin. Fades away from 8. Follows his own shot, though, and kicks it back out. Miles doesn't want it. Does Lloyd. Up top. Will this be the charm? Yes! Dylan Dunn finally gets one from beyond the arc to fall. Another premier bank three-pointer.
Well, that time the junior able to catch and shoot in rhythm, string music from deep, and the run continues here. A 12-2 run here that goes back to the final 2 minutes of quarter one.
Adams launches a 3. Avalos had it. Hits the deck. Tries to kick it out to Rosales. They'll reset their half-court offense. Dangerous skip pass. Avalos, the point, posting up. He kicks it right back out. 3 on the way from Sanders. Can't find the range. We've got a tie-up underneath the cylinder.
But right now the Aces have to find a way to neutralize the glass. They're just getting very limited second chance opportunities. In Ayersville, when they rebound, they have the ability to push it up in transition.
Well, the press has been effective for the Aces. They're back out in that 2-2-1. Ewers, boy, dangerous jump pass at half court. Great secondary break. Fantastic feed as Miles finds Peak breaking towards the rim.
Well done by the Pilots. That's not a press breaker. That's a press offense. They're looking to score off that. They did a great job moving the basketball. Didn't waste time with the dribbles. They spot him on a rim run. Here's a rejection.
Miles swats Avalos, and we've got a whistle. This is going against Ewers.
That's going to be his second foul here, so that's awfully big here. The third Pilot foul, but since that was on the shot, Jesus Avalos will head to the charity stripe. Just a 43% free throw shooter on the season.
A lot of arch, but he drains his first. Well, I asked the guys on the Aces roster, I said, who's your intimidator? If he's going to foul, nobody should expect him to offer a hand to help him up. Not dirty, but just physical. And they said the man at the line, Jesus Avalos. And just in that conversation, we nicknamed him Hacksaw. So, Hacksaw drains 2.
And those 2 free throws end a 14-2 run by the Pilots. It goes back nearly 7 minutes.
Still a 10-point advantage for Ayersville. 2:39 and counting left to go in the half. Peak, heat check. A little long from probably about 23 feet out. Ball tapped around. Rosales has it. Nobody's picked up the ball, but he'll surrender it. He's shown a propensity to drive. He picks it up at the free throw line. Crossover, Graber into a double team. Avalos, boy, he's coming, you know what, for leather, and that's going to be an offensive foul. His second.
And how about Ewers that time? He's got 2 fouls out there, and he did a great job of not bailing out the Aces there. He slipped over, had great position, drew the contact. Excellent call by veteran official Zach Grosjean. And that's as good as a turnover as the Aces really now have to find some momentum here in this final 2
Great
minutes.
backdoor cut by Peak. He lost the pass, still gathers himself, and makes the reverse layup. Jeremiah Peak is having himself a night now with 14 of his team's 25, and there's another turnover by the Aces. And Peak gives it up. Who wants the ball? Avalos from his rear end kicks it out. Near corner. Langham on the drive. Up top. Stuckey for three. It goes begging off the right side. And Lloyd will slow it down. Up by 12, looking for more. Under 90 seconds left to go in the half. Peak. Oh, how do you leave him open? Just short. And Hicksville dodged a bullet. Aggressive, but maybe too much so. Jackson Stambaugh with the foul about 70 feet from the basket.
Yeah, that's one of those fouls that really no excuse for. They did have one foul to give, but the next one will put the Aces at the charity stripe. Right now, Hicksville's offense has really struggled here. After looking good early in the first quarter, the last about 10 minutes, Hicksville's only scored 4 points here. Need to get a little shot in the arm here before the intermission.
All right, is this a 3-2 or a 1-2-2?
It's really a 1-3-1. They've disguised it pretty well. But you'll watch the baseline guy will come over.
Feet in the low post. Ooh, almost dragging his pivot foot. They'll kick it left wing. Rosales got a good look, nothing doing. And a strong rebound by Dunn. If you're Ayersville, do you look for the last shot here, or do you keep your offense moving to get your first best look?
I think you stay with it. You've got so many things going well.
Oh, look at Miles. Couldn't quite get it. Point blank, but look at that. He taps it out to Lloyd, who won't hesitate and launches a three.
Well, they had two good looks that time, just neither went down, but nothing wrong with what the Pirates are doing.
Near corner, Langham. They'll kick it out, and it looks like Hicksville does want to work for the final shot. Now, they tried this at the first quarter, but they didn't really run their offense. With 10 seconds, here's usually where you start it up. It's going to be a long three from the far corner. Stuckey out leaps Lloyd. Johnny on the spot is done. Cross-court pass to Peak. Woo! And the circus doesn't finish with a tent. We have come to the end of the first 16 minutes. Ayersville, 25. Hicksville, 13. We're going to take a 2-minute break, a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, your Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
Back at the hangar, we missed the Chuck-a-Duck. $75 going to, I think, did they say Claire Sproul? And now on the floor, you can see it looks like future cheerleaders and pep squad. As we welcome you for the Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union celebrating 70 years of helping you achieve your dreams and securing your future. Visit them in Defiance, Bryan, or Napoleon. Check them out online at midwestcommunity.org. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller. Let's run down your unofficial stats, and let's start with scoring, because one player in particular started hot and stayed hot. Ayersville's Jeremiah Peak, the 6'2 sophomore. He averages 16.2 a game. He's almost there at the half. 14 points, and he's done it in a number of different ways. A pair from beyond the arc, a couple of nice drives, a nifty reverse layup, and 2 for 2 from the charity stripe. Scoop, he has scored almost every single way possible, and right now I'm guessing in that Aces locker room they are trying to figure out a way to slow him down.
Well, they're going to have to, because he really had a complete game, I thought, that first half. You know, right away he was able to get to the foul line by attacking the rim, and then he was able to spot up there, hit a couple deep threes there to pull that defense out. But once Ayersville did that, that opened up some rim runs and some driving seams in Ayersville. To their credit, I thought they took advantage. They had an excellent second quarter where they outscored the Aces 12-4.
Balance. All 5 starters are in the scoring column for Ayersville. It drops off after Peak's 14, but again, as an aggregate, they're getting the job done. 4 points for Dane Ewers, who we weren't sure was going to be able to play. He was a little under the weather, but he took about a 2-hour nap after school, and, well, he seems to be doing okay. 3 points for Dylan Dunn. He drained a 3 and then a deuce each for point guard Owen Lloyd and Jackson Stambaugh. On the flip side, for the Aces, Dylan Welch and company trying to jumpstart an offense that has been struggling right now. Jaden Rosales, the point guard, with 4, both baskets coming in the first quarter. Jesus Avalos, their undersized center, with 4. He's got a basket from the floor and 2 for 2 from the charity stripe. After that, Bronson Graber with a 3, Brent Langham with a deuce. Let's start with Hicksville. You talked about trying to slow down Jeremiah Peak. Do you double him? Do you face guard him no matter where he's at on the floor? What defensive adjustments are they trying to draw up in the locker room right now?
Well, first of all, you have to get a high hand up on Jeremiah Peak. You can't let him catch and shoot in rhythm. He's too effective. But what that's going to do, that's going to give him an opportunity to put the ball on the deck. But I think once he does that, I think you have to run a second defender at him. I think the help's been there way too late for Hicksville. Once he gets deep, he's able to finish. He's also able to see the floor very well, so he'll spot some guys out there. But that's got to be priority 1 for Coach Dylan Welch, the fact that, well, you know he's their top scorer coming in, and you let him erupt for 14 points in the opening 16 minutes.
On the flip side, if you are Ayersville, we talked about wanting to get a second scorer consistently involved. Now, I know tonight Jeremiah Peak seems to have the world by the tail, but you want to run your offense at the same time, too. Peak will get his most nights. What else do you want to see offensively if you're Ayersville?
Well, I want to see Ayersville really move without the basketball. I thought they, the first few minutes, I thought there was a lot of driven, not a lot of movement away from the basketball, but I thought they really kind of picked things up there a little bit. They started doing a much better job of cutting without the basketball, trying to set guys up. And my message to those guys, if I'm Coach Wolfram, is, we need you to be confident offensively. You need to be able to shoot in rhythm. When you get the shot in your area and you're open, you got to take that shot, and don't be afraid to go downhill, because Hicksville, they love to go man-to-man. The fact that they're down 12, they're going to the message is going to be come out and really pressure. And I think if you're Ayersville, you counter that by attacking the rim, playing downhill.
You beat me to it. Some offense came off their defense. Would you anticipate Hicksville to press more in the second half?
Well, I really do. That's where they're going to have to hang their hat. They're missing their leading scorer. And Turnbull, and the fact that their offense has just kind of sputtered, I think they want to create offense from their defense. So look for the Aces to really extend things. They like to do a lot of running, jumping. Look for them to go maybe instead of three-quarter court, full court to full court pressure here. trying to speed up the pilots, get them played a little bit faster than they're comfortable doing.
We're going to take a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, it'll be the start of the second half. You've been watching the Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show for over 70 years, helping you achieve your dreams. Check them out in Defiance, Bryan, or Napoleon, and online at midwestcommunity.org. Ayersville 25, Hicksville 13. Back after this on DCTV Sports.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com. Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
Buzzer sounds at the hangar. Hey, check it out. It's ESPN night in the student section. See Ryan Mag, and I was trying to get some faces from some of the other young ladies that are part of the tech crew there. And I think, Scoop, we can tell all of those young and up-and-coming professionals to stay away from broadcasting as a full-time career. You want to do it for fun, maybe make a little supplemental income, great, but pick something more lucrative to do full-time.
Couldn't agree more.
All right, third 8 minutes put up on the scoreboard clock. The Aces will have the ball as they trail by 12, and quickly putting up a three halfway down. Rosales smacks his hands together. He thought he had it. Will he take another? He's open from the top of the key. This time uses the front and the back of the rim, but it still won't fall. And Peak with 14 points pulls down another board. Ewers in the high blocks. This is one of the very few teams in the GMC really all season long that Ayersville can say they have a height advantage on.
Yeah, both these teams are really undersized, and here's a serious heat check from Peak that rims out.
And yet one of the smallest players on the court pulls it down. Stanbaugh gets it out to Ewers. Stanbaugh with another board. And they'll reset their offense. I don't think Logan Wolfram wanted that second three. Matter of fact, I don't think he wanted the first. That can be there much later in the offense. That is a good power move by Ewers. Take your pick as three red jerseys rotate over.
Yeah, that's gold offense right there. That's what you need to do. You've got a size advantage with Ewers inside, and that time he's able to bury his guy inside, sealed his man, and then that left an opening there. Hicksville forced a foul. And now the freshman will head to the charity stripe to try to start this third quarter off right for the Pilots.
He is not a strong free throw shooter at 55%, but he does drain his first. That last foul, by the way, is on Bronson Graber, his first.
But I think they need to get touches in there, each and every time, because Ewers is a guy that he's not afraid to kick it out. He sees the floor very well. In fact, he leads the Pilots in assists on the season.
Yes.
And there he cashes in, and this is going to be a near turnover.
How about this, though, Scoop? Ayersville giving Hicksville a taste of their own medicine and coming out in some pressure.
Well, I like it. Right now, I think that's where you strike. You got things going your way. Hicksville was really there going into the half. Try to set the tone, and here the defense comes up with the steal.
Dunn, try to cross over. We've got another whistle in the middle of the paint. Yeah, very rarely is a bounce pass going to work against a press. And this one's going to be charged to Langham, his second. Ewers will back it out in between the circles. Nice flash down low, falling down, great save. Dunn picks up his dribble. Does Peak want to attack? He does not. Well, he's picked up his dribble. No, he did not. This is, I think, what Coach Wolfram wants to see. It wasn't there. Back it out. Reset. Dunn looking down low. Ewers has his man on his hip. I don't know if that was just a slip or if that was a cagey move by Eicher, but he came alongside of him, and all of a sudden, Ewers fell forward, or to the side, I guess I should say, about 2 feet, and that's the difference between him getting the ball in the low blocks and a turnover.
Well, you're right. Credit Eicher. That time he was very physical, and that contact's what really threw Ewers off balance. He wasn't able to really get his legs under him, move to try to get position. That's a much-needed turnover forced by that Hicksville defense.
Eicher drives, can't get the teardrop to fall. Peak in between the legs. Good defense by Langen to cut him off in the paint. Ewers asking for Dunn to come over, and he fakes the handoff. He explodes, hangs in midair, nothing doing. Ball kicks out, though, to Peak, and he will calmly dribble out in between the circles. Ooh, takes a little bit of a shot to the chin, and looking up saying, who me? Bronson Graber picks up his second.
Yeah, once again, credit Jeremiah Peak. He's a tough guard one-on-one. When he puts it on the deck, you better send a second defender at him. And that time, Graber forced the foul.
Ewers, nice spin on the baseline and can't get the nifty roll. Look at that, though. Johnny on the spot again, Stambaugh. And Peak, the beneficiary of the extra possession.
Yeah, you cannot lose Peak there in the half court. And that time he's able to step into that shot, catch and shoot in rhythm.
Nice drive. Rosales attacks the glass. He draws the foul. As we are going to see Mr. Muscles, Loden Clark, checking in for Ayersville.
If Hicksville wants to have any chance getting back into this, Brent, they're going to have to find a way to get to the free throw line. So credit to Rosales that time. He's able to get that nice dribble penetration, but he comes up empty on the first of two. Rosales, the top Hicksville free throw shooter at 83% coming into tonight.
The foul was charged to Ewers. It's his third, so he's going to take a seat on the bench. Second free throw is up, and this one is good by Rosales. And it does allow the Aces to come out in their press. And it works, a turnover. Well, right now you're down by 16. I don't want to say it's time to throw caution to the wind, but Scoop, you got to try something if you're Hicksville.
You really do. You have to play more down here offensively, get to the rack here, get to the foul line. Then the defense has to create offense, but here Ayersville to steal.
Stambaugh. I tell you what, if we were keeping individual steals, he's got to be pushing 6 or 7 right now.
Well, again, just too many Hicksville turnovers, and a lot of those turnovers have resulted in runouts at the other end.
Stambaugh has just been a pest on the defensive end. And now stepping out of bounds, and Rosales knew it. He got a little too far underneath the cylinder.
Again, credit to that Ayersville defense. They're taking away those driving lanes, forcing things near the sideline and baseline.
Oh, great give and go. Lloyd to Stambaugh to Lloyd. guard to guard, and it's 34-14. Coach Welch wants a timeout, a full timeout. We'll take a Mark Moats Ford timeout with them. County Road 424 in Defiance and online at markmoatsford.com. Pilots by 20. Back after this on DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
Buzzer sounds, you get a good look at the Hicksville huddle as they trail Ayersville 34-14 here at the hangar. Brent Balbanon alongside Scoop Miller. Look, Scoop, we didn't want to bang this drum too loudly, but since we only briefly touched on it in the pregame, it's clear that the aces are missing, and who wouldn't? Their leading scorer, Garrett Turnbull. I know his latest stat line shows 12 points per game, but for the longest time through about the first half of the season, he was upwards of 17 or 18 points, and this is a Hicksville team that clearly is just missing their leader.
Well, no doubt about it. And here's a good answer out of the timeout as Jaden Rosales hits a Premier Bank three there from the baseline.
Almost a steal. Clark tiptoeing the baseline and somehow gets it to Peak.
Well, Brent, you're right, Joe. You talk about Garrett Turnbull. He's a guy as a sophomore last year was second-team All-GMC. He also, one of their top rebounders.
Peak stops and pops from 15.
What a night he's had. He's up to 19 points with that latest jumper.
Rosales almost went up with it. Rosales, he's been trying, but at the same time, Avalos taking on everybody and anybody in a white jersey, and this one's going to go against Stambaugh, will be his second. Scoop, again, I don't want to draw the curtain of charity on it, but if you are Coach Dylan Welch, all of a sudden, 12 to 17 points is now no longer going to be available to you. I don't want to call it a completely different team, but for lack of a better term, how do you hit the reset button, especially this late in the season if you're Hicksville?
Yeah, that's going to be the million-dollar question, but it has to start, I think, at the defensive end. They've got to create some offense with their defense. They're going to have to get some second-chance points as well, but credit Ayersville, they have really limited Hicksville from getting second-chance opportunities here tonight. When you put that together, boy, that's bad math for your offense, who really is only scoring 45 points a game, and then you lose about 16 of that when Turnbull goes out of the lineup.
Well, there you saw Sanders try and split a double team in the top half of that 2-3 zone, and Stambaugh picks up the foul.
And we've kind of mentioned it too, Brent. Another way to find some offense is by, again, tackling the rim, trying to get to the foul line, but Ayersville's done a nice job of really controlling the paint at the defensive end.
Good-looking jumper by Rosales. It skims off the iron. It's out of bounds, last touched by the Aces. Buzzer sounds. We'll have a substitution as Adams will check in for Avalos. Nope, check that. That's Eicher, excuse me. Number 10, not number 30. And they're going to come out in full court pressure. Down by 19. Well, Ewers dribbles out of the place that you want the ball to be if you're the defense, the corner trap. And now they'll set up their half court. Peak having himself a night with 19. Lloyd with 4. Peak wants more. 3 on the way. Doesn't get the friendly roll. And how about that? Your point guard, Rosales, dropping down to pick up the board. Quick shot that was almost shot put by Graber. Ball tapped around. Peak with the run out. Is anybody going to get back and beat him? He crosses over and is swatted away from behind by Rosales. Tell you what, he is going in 5th gear. He doesn't care about the score. Number 11 for Hicksville is putting on a show tonight.
Well, he really is. He's one of those hustle guys that he'll get to those 50-50 balls. Here's a good move by Ewers inside once again, who's had a fine night. He's up to 8 points.
Quick three at the other end, and Eicher drains a Premier Bank three. His first points of the evening.
Well, how about that? The junior hitting just 24% beyond the arc. Looked pretty good on that one.
Ewers tried to dribble out of a double team, and I believe this is going to be Langham. And if it is, it's his third. It is. Fouls starting to mount up for Hicksville. Langham in the worst of it, though, with 3.
Right now, I think that's what Hicksville is trying to do. They want to try to lengthen this game out already here in the third quarter, make it extra possession. So look for them to take quicker shots. Boy, there's a lot of contact.
Yes.
That foul will go against Austin Sanders. I believe that'll be the 5th team foul.
Free throws coming, Sanders, and I can understand it. That's a 50-50 call, or is that at best a no call? Or is that just it happened to be in plain sight with nobody around, and so it was easy for the officials to make?
I like the call there. You know, there's too much contact, I think, to be a no call, and the fact that he was rerouted, you know, trying to make that dribble drive. I think the officials did a nice job on that. And credit Ewers here. Boy, he's doing a nice job here as he hits the first of 2. Looking for point number 10 here with the back end.
He averages 14. The freshman now in double digits.
Well, I really like him. He understands the game. He's got a high basketball IQ, does the little things so well.
Stuckey has picked up his dribble on the baseline. He's in a world of trouble. He gets it out to Sanders. And now Eicher, in between the legs, surrenders the basketball. Rosales. Sanders skip pass to the near corner. Oh, great anticipation by Ewers. Coast to coast, and he misses the bunny. I wasn't sure if he thought about dunking it and at the last second decided to go for the layup, and he didn't use the glass. And he's wincing, but he still gets back and gets the rebound.
Credit to freshman there. You know, he made a huge mistake there. I think he wanted to dunk it, tried to do too much, lost the handle, but then he makes the hustle play, comes down there, gets the defensive rebound. I think that speaks volumes.
Lloyd will hang on to it with under a minute left to go in the third. Ayersville with possession and a 20-point lead, looking to pick up their first win in the GMC this season. Hard to believe if we would have told you going into the third week of January the Pilots still wouldn't have a win in conference. I don't think you would have believed me back at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, this team, I'm sure they felt they've underachieved at this point, but boy, they're looking good here tonight, moving the basketball, and right there, a good-looking 3 rims out.
Oh, look at that. Offensive board. Strong move, and Loden Clark with the first bench points for the Pilots.
How about the senior with the offensive rebound, and here's another steal. Here's a
3/4 court, and it's just short. It's about the only thing that hasn't fallen for the Pilots so far tonight. Third quarter is in the books. Pilots putting on a clinic as they're up by 22. We'll take a Mark Moats board timeout. Back with the final 8 at the hangar. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
Fourth quarter just gets underway with a backdoor cut by Dane Ewers and a nice feed from, I believe it was Dylan Dunn. Ewers now with 12. It's a 44-20 lead as a long three by Sanders far corner cannot find its way down. Peak and Ewers. They've been a great 1-2 punch. Lloyd wants to get in on the act. Can't quite. Peak out of nowhere. Up top. Dunn for three. Book it! He's got 6 on the night on yet another Premier Bank three-pointer.
Well, that's good aggressive offense by the Pilots, attacking the rim and then going inside out.
They've drained 5 so far on the night. Ewers to Lloyd. They'll slow it down. They still have a few more points to add as Dunn, nice drive, and the Red Sea parted. Nobody picked him up.
How about Dunn? 8 points on the night, but 5 here in the last 2 possessions. Then he had a steal at the defensive end that set that up. And right now it's all Pilots.
Eicher couldn't quite get the 3 to fall. Adams, the freshman, with the board. Count it, and one coming.
Oh, that time a great hustle play. That's a rebound Hicksville had no business getting. Little miscommunication there. Ayersville had 2 guys in position.
All right, I stand corrected. I think number 30 is Paxton Yoder. I was told that Paxton Yoder might get called up, a 6'1 freshman. He's listed as number 11, but I think that's Paxton Yoder.
You are correct, and that's a big-time play by Yoder. Again, that's a rebound he had no business coming down with. He misses the N1.
So 49-22, Peak in the middle of the paint, and he's just scoring at will right now.
Once again, good offense by Ayersville, though, doing a great job of moving the basketball. Very unselfish play.
Another long 3. Yoder can't get it to fall. Avalos is there. He almost made a behind-the-back pass. He'll kick it out. Top of the key. Halfway down, Sanders 3 rattles out, and we've got a whistle.
That's going to be the Aces coming over the top there, trying to get that offensive rebound. That'll go on Paxton Yoder that time, trying to make a hustle play. And right now, this is where Hicksville's got to be cautious. Right now, they're just one-dimensional. They're coming down. They're chucking the first 3 they see. I mean, I realize you got to be in a hurry-up mode, but you still have to attack the rim. Here's Peak on a dribble drive. And a great finish with the left hand off the window.
The only question is,
night for him.
How many does he want to finish with tonight? Because he's already got 23, and another one and done. And onto the floor, we're starting to see some more subs now. This is going to be Alex Sigler, underclassman. Watched him in practice earlier this week, and he can score in a number of different ways. He's comfortable from beyond the arc. He's lightning in a hot skillet, though. He loves to penetrate. Got Preston to service as the starting quarterback earlier this year when Lloyd went down. But Sigler, just a 5'8 freshman. High promise for the young man. Is stopping and popping for 3 at the top of the key. Graber can't hit it, and Miles just worms his way out of a triple team. Peak thought about it, and that's a heads-up play.
That's a smart play. I love the fact that he was able to square up, get triple threat, drew the defender, but he didn't try to force it.
Lloyd for 3. It will bounce over the backboard, but look at Clark. Fades back and can't get the roll. Peak, though, pulls it down, and will he dribble it out, and they'll reset. Clark's thinking, man, I don't get a lot of time, Coach. I want that one. So let me show you my drive. And he's a little too amped up.
Just too amped up. That tremendous move there. He showed some great handles there, got to the rim. Just too much off the window there.
Air ball. Clark gets back, though. Nobody picks him up. Oh, show up the handles, number 11. Sigler for 3. Got it!
Premier Bank 3 by Alex Sigler, the freshman. Again, he's got some promise at the offensive end.
And a foul on a conglomeration underneath the basket. And Scoop, all of a sudden, we are a point away from a running clock.
It's just hard to imagine this game is where it's at. Coming in, it looked like one of those 50-50 games where both teams certainly had to feel they play well, they can get the W. But it's been all Ayersville. Since that 9-9 start, boy, it's been all Ayersville here at the hangar. And Hicksville has had their problems with Ayersville over the years. In fact, the Pilots have beaten the Aces 5 straight coming into this one. The last win for Hicksville in this series was back on January 2nd, 2020. A 46-32 Aces win here at the hangar. But right now, as you mentioned, just a bucket away from a running clock here with 4 minutes to play in this one.
Lavalos hit 1 of 2. Jeremiah Peak most likely is going to watch the remainder of this game from the bench. He'll take a seat with 23 points as Clark sees a 3-ball just short. And now we've got a lot more. Finn Phillips has checked in for Hicksville. Likewise, Colin Level. They'll skip it to the far side, and Phillips puts up a 3. Long board kicks out. Avalos tracks it down. And another quick 3. In and out, and Miles taps it to himself. Miles. Sigler thought about it. You have to come out on him. He is a threat from out there. Left wing, 3 on the way. Oh, net! Evan Wolfram, remember the name. They expect him to hang around for a while. And now we should have a running clock with just under 3 minutes left to go.
I love the confidence there from Wolfram. He caught that. He had one thing in mind, and that ball's going up, and that time string music.
In and out. Avalos with the board. He's surrounded by 3 white jerseys. A lot of time in the lane. Do we have 3 seconds or a foul? It will be a foul, and this one's going to be called against Evan Wolfram. But at 59-23, as Lloyd comes out to a round of applause, the clock will be continuous. And checking in is Jaden Castillo, number 33 for Hicksville. Phillips releases the ball, and a 3 released by Paxton Yoder in the near corner.
A good look by Yoder. That was a deep bomb there.
Clock will still run as it's got to get back under 30 for normal clock management. And with under 2 minutes left to go, it's really a moot point. Miles thought about a 3. Checking into the ball game, Sam Brown also on the floor now for Ayersville. Almost everybody in a Pilot uniform has seen time on the court as Sigler. Good look from the top of the key, and tough rebound by Castillo. Three from the left wing, halfway down, it spits out, and Brown in the books with a board. Clark, well, he thought about making a crossover move, but instead kicks it out. He's still thinking about it. Step back. Is his foot on the line? Didn't have a lot of arch. And Miles with the rebound and the putback.
Great hustle play by Keith and Miles, a senior, to get that offensive board and putback.
3 in the far corner. Phillips can't get it to fall. It's out of bounds, almost into the band. Clock will continue to tick as I believe it will be Aces to inbound. Oh, nice move by Avalos, and with the foul, he'll head to the charity stripe. And this will be the final play of the ball game.
Well, that was a nifty move by Avalos. That time he just kind of slipped over there on the out of bounds. Found himself wide open, and now he'll finish things out here with a couple from the stripe. First one short.
That's a kind term for it, but he'll get one more. Tell you what, he's been working so hard, though. His arms have got to be heavy. Knees probably a little rubbery. He adjusts and hits 1 out of 2. And that will do it. Ayersville 61, Hicksville 27. Pilots snap a 4-game losing streak to pick up their 5th win of the season, and just as important, their first win in Green Meadows Conference play. The Aces, after such a strong start to the season, but unfortunately with the loss of their leading scorer, Garrett Turnbull, now drop 7 straight as they fall to 6-9 and 2-3, respectively. We'll take a 2-minute timeout, a 2-minute break. We'll be back with your South 66 Lanes postgame show. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
Fans milling around, and why not? It has been 5 long games, actually 4. It was a 5-game losing streak coming into this one for Hicksville, a 4-game losing streak for Ayersville. But man, what a performance tonight, led by Jeremiah Peak's 23 points as the Pilots get off the snide with a 61-27 victory. I look down and I do see Jeremiah Peak and Coach Wolfram making their way up the press row. Well done, young man. Well done. We'll give him a headset. We got one for you, too. We've got 2 spare ones, so you can both talk at the same time. Jeremiah, turn to your side there because you're on candid camera. Actually, you're on a live camera. Oh. There we go. So as we allow that to come on, you got enough?
Yep, we're good.
There we go. Fantastic.
We're good.
All right. Coach, let's start with you.
Yeah.
I know it had been tough. You and I talked about it during our pregame. This team seems to have been on the precipice so many times this year. Just for whatever reason, tough stretch here, one-off night there, unable to put it together. I'm assuming you're pleased with tonight's performance.
Yeah, I am. That's exactly what I just told them in the locker room. I said we've been saying it all year. We struggled early. but I preach to these guys all the time that we are a good basketball team. And we had a really tough weekend last weekend, but we played really well. We got better. We're getting better. It helps with guys like him shooting like he did tonight. But that's what it's going to take. I mean, Jeremiah puts in all the work all summer long. So that's why he's up here, and this is why he played great tonight, was the leader of our team.
We kind of figured he might come with you. Pull your mic up just a little bit so that way we can hear you. All right, you started early. But it wasn't just one thing, like camping out and catch and shoot beyond the three. You drained a couple of threes. You got a couple of good drives. You got to the line and hit a couple of free throws. What's that do to your overall confidence when everything is falling and falling early?
Well, when I start getting downhill and going, then it gets me going, gets the team going, and then we start all playing together.
Were you in rhythm from the minute the whistle sounded tonight?
Feels like it.
I think he's poor boying it a little bit, Scoop, but yeah, sure, we'll say feels like it.
Well, no doubt about it. And Jeremiah, a couple things to add off that. You know, your team, I thought, was so aggressive tonight. You know, I thought you guys played physical. You really got into them defensively. You got some points from your defense. Talk about the team effort here we saw tonight.
Well, we just all came together and played together really well. Started with our defense to offense, and then getting back and getting another stop to keep going.
Coach, let's talk a little bit about Dane Ewers. He was also in double figures. I don't know if he plays better when he's sick. Maybe he just needs to power nap for a couple of hours before the game. But he could have finished with more, but it didn't look like he forced a whole lot this evening. But he finishes with 12, excuse me. Can you just talk about his performance tonight?
Yeah, I thought I showed you a picture before the game. My wife's a teacher here. My wife's classroom's pretty close to where we're at, and he was taking a little nap in there. So he wasn't feeling the best today, but mentally he powered through it. I thought he did a great job, like you said. He didn't force too much. He got downhill, got to his spots, kicked if he had to. But one-on-one, he's a really good scorer as well. So I thought he picked his spots well tonight. You
and I talked about it during the pregame. You have been desperate, almost to the point of begging somebody to become a consistent second scorer to Jeremiah. Obviously, Dane gets 12 tonight. Dylan, who dropped 18 here a couple weeks ago against Fairview. If somebody would have told you Dylan Dunn would have dropped 18 before that game tipped, my guess is you both would have felt confident about walking out of the gym with a win. He's one basket away tonight with 8. And then I'm looking at the balance. All 5 starters score, and I'm looking at 5-10 bench points. Is this something that you should expect more of moving forward?
I would hope so. That's what we were expecting a little bit early on in the season. So, again, I hate to use the excuse we are a younger and inexperienced team, but we're really starting to gel right now. For how offensively these guys played, I thought Jackson Stamble and Owen Lloyd did a phenomenal job on the defensive end.
Yes.
And for how undersized they are, they rebound like crazy. So they definitely got us quite a few extra possessions. That helps his points out a little bit.
And, Logan, talk about your defense. Now, I thought you guys really kind of set the tone there with your defense. We talked about you got some offense from it. But the thing that really impressed me with your defense tonight, you guys rebounded so well out of that. I thought this was going to be one of those games where it was going to be a 50-50 on the rebound stats. You guys completely dominated at both ends.
Yeah. For how undersized we are, we were a little nervous going zone. We played zone the past 3 games, and we've done a pretty good job of it. But if we go zone in an undersized team, that's your worry, is backside rebounds. But, again, Jay does a great job of crashing down from the top. And then Owen Lloyd, Jackson Stamble do a phenomenal job of finding a body, really getting into them, and either tipping the ball or trying to get it over the back call. So they've done a great job tonight.
You beat me on Stambaugh. Stambaugh was close, if not at least a half a dozen steals, if not more tonight.
Yep.
You talk about, again, taking away the opposition, but that's an extra possession for you guys as well.
Yep.
All right, Jeremiah, question for you, because now it feels like there's energy in this gym right now that we haven't felt in a while. You are on, is it on the road or are you home against Jefferson?
We're home tomorrow.
Home versus Jefferson. You're going to build on this then tomorrow. What's the message to your rest of your teammates when you come back here in about 24 hours?
Just come back, same energy, ready to play, and do the same thing that we did tonight and carry it over to tomorrow.
taking care of business, right? Gentlemen, at least enjoy it for the next 24 hours. Congratulations to both of you.
Yep, we will. Thanks, guys.
We're going to take a quick timeout. We are back with more of the South Lane 66 postgame show. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
Back at the hangar, Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller as the South 66 Lanes postgame show. We're going to put a powder blue and white bow on this one tonight as the Pilots snap a 4-game losing streak, and they do so in strong fashion. Scoop, this was a 13-9 ball game at the end of the first quarter, and then Jeremiah Peak just simply took over en route to a 61-27 victory.
Well, he really did. You know, we started out, we had a couple lead changes early. We were tied up 9-9, but from that point on, the last 4 points of the first quarter went to the Pilots, and boy, they just catapulted from there. They dominated quarters 2, 3, and 4, end up getting a running clock. More importantly, they end a 4-game losing streak, and this is a team, looks like they got some confidence back in their step. This is a young team. They're starting to learn the game a little bit. They're starting to work together at the offensive end. They're connected out the defensive end. Well, they looked awfully good tonight. This is a team that could be a dangerous out as this season unwinds.
Well, they snap a 4-game losing streak. On the flip side for Hicksville, again, so tough when you lose anywhere between 12 to 17 points per ball game. Their leading scorer, Garrett Turnbull, is done for the season. Hard to believe as you look back. This was a Hicksville team that won 5 of its first 6 games, but what a difference losing your standout player makes.
Well, you're exactly right. You know, they had some quality wins when they started out 5-1. You know, it wasn't just like, they were just beating some poor teams. They had some quality wins, but that Route 49 Classic, they got banged up right before that. They end up losing the consolation game in that one, and it's kind of been downhill since, as they have lost now, I believe, 9 of the last 10 ball games, and they have to find a way to right the ship soon.
Again, let's run down your unofficial scoring totals. Leading all players, no question who it is tonight, Jeremiah Peak. He finishes with 23. Dane Ewers, the only other player in double figures. He has 12, but great balance. All 5 starters score, including 10 bench points tonight. 8 points for Dylan Dunn, 4 for Owen Lloyd, 4 for Jackson Stambaugh, and then off the bench, 3 points each for Evan Wolfram and Alex Sigler, and a deuce apiece for Loden Clark and Keithan Miles. For the Aces, they were led by point guard Jaden Rosales. He's trying, folks, but again, they're just a different team right now, trying to refine their legs. He finishes with 8, half a dozen for Jesus Avalos, and then 3 apiece for Bronson Graber and Luke Eicher, a deuce for Brent Langham, 5 points off the bench for freshman Paxton Yoder. What did you have for turnovers tonight?
Well, for the contest, Ayersville did a much better job. We talked about Coach Wolford, one of that 12 turnovers or less. I had them unofficially for 11 tonight.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Hicksville had 17 turnovers. And a lot of those turnovers ended up in runouts and easy points at the other end. They kind of got the Pilots off and running there late in that first quarter, and from there on they never looked back. An impressive team win here for Ayersville tonight, who moves to 3-7 here at the Hangar on the season.
The Pilots are now 5-10 overall, picking up their first win in the GMC against 3 losses. The Aces fall to 6-9 and 2-3. Up next, again, you heard Coach Wolfram and Jeremiah Peak. They're right back here in this gym tomorrow afternoon as they take on Jefferson. And likewise, no rest for the weary as Hicksville makes the bus ride to Gorham-Fayette. Our next broadcast will be tomorrow afternoon as we will be back at the Dog Pound. It will be the ladies' turn as Defiance hosts Fairview. We will be on the air with our pregame Bob Estel Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show at 12:30 with an expected 1 o'clock tip-off. Scoop, get yourself plenty of rest, and we'll see you tomorrow afternoon.
Looking forward to it.
Again, we've got one last piece of business, too. We do need to mention our player of the game, brought to you by BSN Sports. I don't think there's any question. We didn't really talk about it. You dropped 23 and make it look easy. Jeremiah Peak, our BSN player of the game tonight. That's going to do it for our broadcast. Big thank you going out for our crew doing more than yeoman's work. Special thank you going out to our underwriters. Folks, if you appreciate these broadcasts, please walk through our businesses' doors, spend some money, patronize them, and let them know how much you appreciate them supporting us, bringing you the best area coverage of local high school sports. For, again, Scoop Miller, I'm Brent Balbinot. We thank you, the fan, for tuning in. Final score, Ayersville 61, Hicksville 27. You've been watching a presentation of DCTV Sports.